All right, so here we are with Brent Butterworth and Ron Cyger, and we are doing a little quick interview with them because they are the first group, which we have named this morning, Take Two, that we're going to release under the banner of Outrageous8 Records. We are so happy to have you guys come on board, and one of the concepts of Outrageous8 Records is to have people who are in the Outrageous8 octet have their individual projects be released under the same umbrella as the other artists and as Outrageous8 the octet. I actually don't know, so I'm asking these questions for all of us who are watching, and Ron and Brent. Brent, I don't know actually, how did you end up in music?
I went to an Emerson, Lake and Palmer concert when I was probably 14 and thought that looks like fun. Maybe I should do that. And I mean, I kind of played around on like ukulele and stuff when I was a kid, but nothing really took. And trumpet and snare drum and xylophone. But I got a guitar, and weirdly enough, my first, in Littleton, Colorado, my first guitar teacher was a jazz guy who really didn't know anything about rock, and his name was Rory Stewart. He went on to have some albums on like Cadence Jazz and stuff. Really good player. And so then my second guitar teacher was also kind of a jazz guy, and so they were teaching me all this jazz stuff, and then I kind of realized that I could play things that were kind of George Benson-y sounding, but I really couldn't play things that were like Jimmy Page sounding. So I thought, well, I'll just do this jazz thing.
Right, you played to your strengths,
Yeah.
literally.
That's easy.
That's awesome. And Ron, I know you started playing very young. Did you also, like Brent, did you play multiple instruments, or did you go straight for the woodwinds?
The woodwinds are multiple instruments.
What I meant to say was, did you play both wind instruments and guitar and ukulele and the snare drum and everything else? Like, you understand how those are disparate compared to woodwinds?
Well, I did start playing accordion in 3rd grade. Does that count?
Did you? Yes, it totally does. It totally does.
Once I started playing clarinet, that was pretty much it until my senior year in high school, when I started playing some tenor sax.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
And that was, when did you first pick up the clarinet?
Oh, in 4th grade. So I was just
Oh my gosh, that's adorable. That's adorable. Brent, when did you kind of start fiddling around with music in general? What age?
I guess I was 6 when my Uncle Mac gave me a ukulele.
Was that 3rd grade, 2nd grade?
Yeah, 2nd or 3rd grade. But you know, I just messed around on it. I never kind of, you know.
So Brent, how old were you before you actually started making the ukulele sound good?
Well, I'm 58 now, 57.
Brent, how did you end up, I know you play multiple instruments now, but is bass your favorite instrument?
It's the one that's easiest to get a gig on.
Okay.
But I
Fair
like
enough.
it a lot. And I just started, honestly, I used to play a weird thing called Chapman stick, and I played it for, years and years and years, decades. And I'm not
And
sure.
for our audience who doesn't know, and I don't know what that is, explain to us what that
So
is.
Chapman stick is like a 3-foot-long 1x4 made out of rosewood or something. And it's got like 10 or 12 strings on it, and you play it like this. So you're not doing the strum thing, you're tapping it with all your fingers. So you can play like
So
piano.
like a harp, like kind of harpish?
No, it's more like, it's like, when you see like Eddie Van Halen and people doing all this tapping stuff.
Yeah.
It's like that,
Yeah.
take it to the extreme. And so
okay.
I got into it because of like, there's a guy who plays with King Crimson and Peter Gabriel and stuff who plays it. And I kind of got into it because of that. I got wrapped up in that, and God, did that off and on for 20 or something years. And then I finally,
Wow.
I was in a group in New York, and they kept bugging me to do some gigs with them and stuff, to come back to New York and play gigs. And I didn't even have an instrument, and so I went and got a ukulele bass, because I'm like, well, I play ukulele, I play bass, and then that kind of, I kind of slowly got really into playing bass for the first time in my life, and got serious about it, and eventually got like an electric upright, and then got an upright, and now I really don't play anything but upright.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Oh, that's interesting. I've never in my life heard of a Chapman stick. Am I saying it right?
Yeah, Chapman stick. It was invented by a guy uh, literally living like a mile from where I am right now in Canoga Park. And
Oh, you're kidding.
yeah, it's been around since the 70s, and it's just that it's obscure. It's super, super hard to play, and it's super hard to get a good sound out of. And so, but when you get it working, it's pretty amazing.
Ron Cyger, tell me, what was your journey? And I don't actually know if you prefer alto, or what is your favorite instrument is the first question.
Oh, favorite instrument. Alto is my instrument. It is my voice. Having said that, I really love playing flute, and I really love playing soprano sax. I like playing tenor sax.
And clarinet also you play
I
very
play,
well.
well, I was a clarinet major in college, but
Right.
I'll play clarinet if I'm paid enough. Yeah.
So it's not your favorite. It's below tenor in the likability quotient.
Well, yeah, if I'm playing something that I have to actually do something with, be creative, be musical, be original, it's definitely alto. Alto, soprano.
Gotcha.
Those are my two instruments.
Yeah, yeah. I love the way you play both of those instruments, actually. And have you played, because Brent was saying about different styles of music, have you played a lot of different styles of music? And what's your foundation musical knowledge? Like when you started, like for me, I played the oboe in the concert band because there was no symphony. And then I moved forward to symphonies, you know, and orchestral stuff like 80 piece or whatever.
Sure.
Once I, you know, moved away, but our high school only offered a concert band. Did yours offer more than that?
No, it didn't, and that was the problem. So yeah, my background definitely is classical. I learned all the classical clarinet type literature and repertoire. I went up, and in fact, my first year of college, I was in your neck of the woods, and I went to the Mondavi Music Festival to compete.
I did too.
Yeah,
I went to that when I was a kid with my dad.
yeah, well, you probably heard me.
I might
And
have.
you don't remember, huh? And but it was my senior year in high school. We got a new band director, and he introduced a jazz band.
Oh, awesome.
And, yeah, and clarinet was in B flat, key of B flat. Tenor sax was in key of B flat. Well, it's a no-brainer. I'm playing tenor sax.
Right, exactly.
And
Yeah.
I actually took an improv class with the great Gary Foster over at Pasadena City College. And Gary kind of got me going and definitely got the jazz bug instilled in me. And
Yeah.
after that.
And here we are today. You're a fantastic duo named Take Two, perhaps plus one. Continuing our conversation with Brent Butterworth and Ron Cyger, who are the members of Take Two, who we are welcoming to Outrageous8 Records. We were just talking moments ago with Brent Butterworth about they write together and separately, and I had asked Brent what instrument he writes on, and it turns out he writes on a lot of different instruments. Ron, the same question to you. When you go to write a tune, do you usually start humming a melody, or how do you work it out when you're writing an original piece?
Mostly I think I just kind of get a concept going in my mind as to what I want it to sound like. It might be a basic concept like I want it to have a Latin feel, or I want it to have a swing feel. And then from there, I'm melody. Unlike Brent, I'm melody driven. So I'll go for the melody, and alto is my natural melody instrument. So I'll pound out the melody on my instrument, and the rest kind of falls into line after that.
Okay. Yeah. So it's the lead, it's the song. It would be what the vocal would be, basically,
Right.
If it were a vocal. It's the melody and the heart of it that you're writing from. And now there's a couple things that we're going to premiere a little bit later on. 2 videos that I got from Brent. Thank you. And they are called what, Ron? And who wrote each one?
Well, the first one, or maybe the second one, I'm not sure which order. It's going to be.
Yeah.
It's going to be Blue Butter. Blue Butter. Yeah, Blue Butter. Is that right, Brent?
Yeah, which obviously I wrote.
And Brent wrote that one. Oh, did you think I was going to take credit for it?
Well, no, but it's obvious that I'm the one who wrote it.
Why
Because
is that
Butterworth.
obvious, Brent?
What?
Because of Brent Butterworth.
Yeah, because it was like Blue Monk. I was thinking of Blue Monk. And then I kind of thought,
I get it.
So,
But I'm the one wearing the blue shirt. So
confusing. And I'm the one who has the blues.
there you go.
yeah. So anyway, next two.
So you wrote that one, Brent. And what instrument did you write that on, Brent?
I wrote that on my Fender Telecaster tenor, which is a 4-string Telecaster.
Got it. Okay.
It's
And
like
what's
a
the other?
ukulele, but badass.
Okay, a badass ukulele. Got that.
Badass ukulele.
I like it. Very cool. And then what's the other one that we're going to show? There's Blue Butter and what's the other piece?
Aprende.
Aprende. Okay, and you wrote that, Ron?
Yes, I did.
Okay, cool. So we have one of each, one from each songwriter to show, which is awesome. And those are also original pieces that were also written in quarantine, right? And while we sheltered in place.
No, actually, I think Blue Butter might have been.
Yeah, it was.
Aprender was written, it was started prior to quarantine, but finished in quarantine. Is that okay?
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Now, you two, you met, I think you just said in Liz's class. So tell me what that is. How did you meet and how did you end up doing projects together?
Well, Liz Kinnan is a really great jazz teacher and pianist here in LA, who
Hmm.
teaches at the Colburn School. And Ron's been going, God, Ron, how long have you been in her class? A long time, right? I mean,
7 years. And I figure another 3 or 4 and I'll probably have it down.
Okay. It's 11
um,
years apparently.
but there's two classes, like a 12:30 and a 3 on Sundays. And I was in the 12:30 because Brian Hong, who we all know, kind of coaxed me into it, guitar player. And but then in my class, when we did the concert, I got with both classes, I got to meet Ron and I heard what he was playing. I'm kind of like, I'm going to get into the 3 o'clock class because I want to play with that guy.
Oh, that's nice.
So I did.
Yeah. Ron plays with incredible heart. And it really catches your ear. And even when I first talked to Ron, when we were playing in the big band together in the Thursday night big band, I remember thinking, just hearing a real purity to his playing that really caught my ear in the same way, Brent. Ron, what do you remember about how you guys ended up meeting and getting together and doing projects together?
Well, I remember the 3 o'clock class over at Colburn and Liz. And the thing I loved about Brent and playing with Brent is he's just a lot of fun to play with. Why in the world would you want to do something that isn't fun? And playing with
Well,
Brent.
if it pays well,
That's true. Oh.
Actually, that doesn't make the money worth it, I have to say.
How much money are we talking?
Well,
It's not,
I think
no matter.
a continuum, it's. But
Yeah,
Brent,
for me, there's not enough money in the world to make a bad experience worth it. Go ahead,
yeah.
Ron.
But Brent is a lot of fun to play with. He's a lot of fun
Yeah.
to be with. We have things in common.
Yeah.
So it really helped a lot. And
Yeah.
when you have that connection, you can start talking about things and they make sense to who you're speaking with. And you're not pulling at each other one way or the other. So it makes a good partnership.
So what did it take for you guys to try to put these projects together while we can't, get in a room together and play?
Well, Ron,
Brent?
Ron wanted to record his tune Fandango, which we already played on gigs and stuff. So I knew it, and I said fine. And so I said, well, how are we going to do this? And like, you have a multi-track recorder, right? And he's like, no. So I was doing multi-track way back in the 80s when you had to do it on big, expensive reel-to-reel machines and all this kind of stuff. But now you can do it on a computer or you can do it on like little handheld things. So I actually have it right here. I brought this little.
Oh, perfect. You have a prop. I love that.
8-track Tascam recorder, and they're only like a couple $100. And so I told Ron, well, look, I'll record the tracks on my multi-track, and then I will drop, back then, that was when we were like in extreme lockdown and no one was like even touching anything. So I kind of like dropped it off in a bag on his front stoop or something like that. And then
having bleached all of it.
And told him like how to do it roughly.
Yeah.
And then, he nailed it like right off the bat, and then he just went and bought one for himself. So, because they're $200. It's crazily cheap.
Yeah. And it's not like it's a tool you'll never use again. Ron, what was your end of that story?
Well, so I had, back in the olden days, what was that, 4 months ago, 5 months ago?
Yeah, right. Yeah. March.
When all this started and you literally you were locked down, you didn't leave your house.
Yeah.
So I started to do duets with friends, but like really old school, you might say. So they'd send a recording, and so I play the recording and I play along with the recording. It really sounded ricky-ticky, but it was fun.
Yeah.
And that's and then I mentioned something like that to Brent, we ought to do something, and I told him the way we did it. And when he finished laughing about it, he told me about the 8-track and all that, and I said, "Oh yeah, that'd be good." And so the rest is
Here
history.
we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so actually,
Exactly.
that turned out great. The recording, the sound quality sounds great, and it really wasn't hard.
And so I was like, I'm going to do a real video, see if I can do like a music video, which I hadn't done since probably 1993, and just did it with a phone, and you know, pulled it into a video editing program and messed around for a while, and that was it. And you know, put dog pictures in there because everybody likes dogs. So I knew that even if nobody liked the music, people would like the dogs. So
Exactly. You got to give them a little, oh, look at the dog, so cute. And then listen to the music. It's so sneaky. I love that. Okay, cool. Well, this sounds really exciting. And so the next project after Fandango is done, is that the one you're talking about, Brent, that you're just conceptualizing right now? The I guess it would be your 4th release, technically.
Yeah, well, I have the tunes written. The tunes written. I'm actually going to probably lay down the tracks today, and the video is already conceptualized.
Right up in here.
And
okay.
I think but I have to try it and make sure it works before I spring it on Ron. So
that sounds exciting.
Cool. I think it'll be cool. I think it'll work. I think that the music and the video will come together into a perfect way to kill 4 or 5 minutes.
All right, cool. Well, we'll look forward to seeing that. We're a little bit far away from that release. That'll be at least a month or 2 away for those second 2 to be released. But right now, we're super, super lucky to have Aprender and Blue Butter. So thank you guys so much for spending a little minute with me so we could introduce you to the Outrageous8 Records. And we're really excited to have you guys along, and I think it's going to be a really, really fun, and I'm very excited about your next projects. So thank you so much, you guys. Thank you so much for coming by.
Thanks,
and
Angela.
Thanks, Angela.